episode starts with Seo Ri shocks Se Gye by revealing a huge secret about herself. She tells him that she has been alive for 300 years. Se Gye is completely stunned and cannot process it at first. He thinks she might be mentally unwell, so he decides to take her to a doctor to make sure she is okay. This becomes an emotional and confusing moment for both of them, because Se Gye is trying to understand something that sounds impossible. At the same time, Se Gye becomes more protective and slightly jealous. He sets clear boundaries for Seo Ri, telling her to stay away from other men. His behavior confuses Seo Ri, and she asks him how she is supposed to continue her work if she cannot even interact normally. This creates tension between them, but also shows how deeply he cares, in his own complicated way. Slowly, Seo Ri starts expressing her feelings more openly. She doesn't hide her emotions anymore, and keeps showing affection towards Se Gye. She even gives him medicinal herbs as a gift, making it clear that her actions are sincere and come from the heart. These small moments bring them emotionally closer, despite all the confusion around them. Later, Seo Ri visits her grandmother and makes a strong promise that from now on, she will truly live her life and smile more. On her way, she buys apples and starts distributing them to people. But things take a bad turn when her manager discovers that the apples are actually spoiled, meaning she has been scammed. Even after this disappointment, Seo Ri refuses to give up. Instead of breaking down, she decides to turn the situation around by making candied apples, showing her strong and positive attitude. At the company, Sun Jae-han is confused about who sent those apples. Se Gye immediately stops anyone from touching them, calling them a personal gift, which shows how much he values Seo Ri's effort. Sun Jae-han also brings up concerns about Seo Ri's health, but Se Gye avoids the topic and changes the conversation, not wanting to discuss it further. The next morning, Mun Do is still stubbornly pushing against the decision of being sent to the US. He goes back to his uncle again, asking for reconsideration. However, Se Gye's grandfather Dal-soo speaks firmly and tells him that after dedicating so many years to the company, he should finally step back, take a break, travel, and focus on his personal life and family. But Mun Do is emotionally shaken and refuses to accept this advice. Instead, it becomes clear that he already has his own hidden plan and is not willing to give up easily. We also learn that Dal-soo and Se Gye had already discussed this earlier. Se Gye agrees to take the position only under one strict condition, that his engagement with Taehui must be cancelled. Dal-soo is shocked by this demand, and questions what kind of fate or past karma is repeating itself in their family. At the same time, a doctor advises Se Gye to inform Dal-soo about his cousin's situation, but Se Gye refuses, because he does not want to add stress to his grandfather's life. Sun Jae-han also warns him to stay careful around Mun Do, hinting that danger is building quietly in the background. In another scene, Se Gye's aunts visit a shaman, who turns out to be Seo Ri's friend. While they are there, they accidentally hear something disturbing and mysterious. Whatever they hear frightens them deeply, and they quickly leave the place in panic. Meanwhile, Mun Do receives a heartbreaking call that his son has been injured after falling. This news shocks him badly, but even in this emotional moment, his larger plans and ambitions do not stop moving in the background. Se Gye himself is struggling too. He is trying to ignore both the doctor's advice and Sun Jae-han's warnings, but it is becoming harder for him. When he leaves the clinic, he unexpectedly meets Seo Ri at the entrance. The sudden meeting surprises him, and before he can react properly, Seo Ri invites him on a date. He agrees, even though he keeps complaining during the entire date. Their first stop is a cafe, where they eat donuts together. Se Gye continues to act annoyed, but Seo Ri gently tells him that even simple moments in life can be meaningful. Slowly, his attitude starts changing, and he admits that he actually likes simple things, especially when Seo Ri is with him. Their real date begins at Namsan, a well-known romantic place for couples. Seo Ri enjoys the moment, while Se Gye pretends to find it boring, but still follows her everywhere. Inside the cable car, Se Gye jokes that something bad could happen, which instantly scares Seo Ri. Even though it is a small moment, it brings a mix of fear and closeness between them. At the same time, Seo Ri's manager is facing serious pressure from a rival, who threatens him not to reveal anything about Seo Ri. Se Gye suggests hanging a love lock at Namsan, but Seo Ri refuses. Later, She invites him to her home and asks him a simple but emotional question, whether he ever feels lonely in his life. This question quietly touches a deeper part of him. The next day, Seo Ri brings candied fruits to a filming location, hoping to share her work, but the people there reject her efforts. She feels disappointed, but still refuses to give up. At the same time, a rival pushes her to fire her manager, but she strongly refuses, showing her loyalty. Inside the company, tensions rise even more. Mun Do is under heavy pressure, and Se Gye finally confronts him face to face. Their argument becomes intense, and Mun Do boldly declares that he will not go to the United States, no matter what. Son Jae-han then informs Dal-soo that Se Gye has officially taken control of the position. Around the same time, a shocking truth comes out. Dal-soo's grandmother is not actually in the hospital. The entire situation has been manipulated, and Mun Do is behind the fraud. Se Gye personally pays the hospital bill, and through the documents, he finally understands the truth of what has been going on. Seo Ri also confronts Mun Do directly, and in a moment of anger and emotion, Se Gye ends up hitting him. After everything that happens, Seo Ri tells Se Gye that she no longer wants to see him again. This creates a painful distance between them. Soon after, Se Gye rejects his engagement with Tae-hui, breaking free from expectations and pressure placed on him. However, what starts as an ordinary moment for Seo Ri and Dal-soo quickly turns into a life-changing disaster. While they are at a small restaurant, a sudden crash changes everything. A vehicle crashes into the building, leaving both of them seriously injured. In the middle of the chaos, Se Gye witnesses everything happening right in front of his eyes. Panic takes over as he rushes toward them, unable to believe what just happened, desperately hoping Seo Ri will survive. After the chairman's unexpected accident, the entire company falls into confusion. No one is in control, and tension spreads everywhere. In the middle of this chaos, Mun Do quietly makes his move. While everyone is distracted by the crisis, he takes advantage of the situation and rises to power. Soon, he shockingly steps into the role of chairman, leaving everyone stunned. As he prepares to address the company as its new leader, Se Gye's troubles only grow darker when police suddenly arrive with questions about a mysterious death. He is pulled into a situation he never expected, and struggles to defend himself as suspicion begins to surround him. At the same time, another crisis hits his life. His brand dynasty comes under fire after a product controversy spreads rapidly. With sales banned and public trust collapsing, Se Gye finds himself trapped between serious trouble and business ruin. Fighting to hold everything together, in an unexpected twist, Kang Dan-sim wakes up in the Joseon era, completely disoriented, and unsure if what she is seeing is real. Nothing around her feels familiar, and she is forced to question how she ended up in a completely different time. As she tries to survive this strange reality, a deeper mystery builds. Will Seo Ri ever return to her original body? Or has fate already changed her story forever?